Hello, and thank you for tuning in to today's reading. I hope you enjoy it, and feedback is always welcome. Thank you. So I have a 5-card spread, and we have a few different things that I'm seeing automatically that really is standing out to me right now is the lightness, the solar energy that's coming through on the first card. So you have a woman and she's standing with her eyes closed, hands over her heart, and she is hands over her eyes and her heart, a disc, the sun, the disc illuminating behind her head, and her eyes are closed. It's a complete surrendering, a complete trusting of what has been illuminated to her already. But it seems as though the card is in reverse. So, not to say that oh, and also the moon is there. The moon is to her left side. Again, the left side is the feminine aspect, I believe, of our nature. And so there's a couple things I'd like to say about this. One is the inherent quality of the ancestral lineage that you carry. So it tells me that one, your mother's lineage has been very much a guiding you at this time. They have been protecting you. They've been an angelic force in your life. And although you can't see it, although you may not feel that way, but that is what is happening for you. And anytime you want to connect with that, you close your eyes, place your hands in your heart, and then begin to not envision, but just to connect with the breath. Because this image has feathers. The feathers are a connection to the breath, because it is a connection to air element. So breathe. As you breathe, imagine you are breathing into your cells, every single cell inside of you, and imagine that breath is connecting with your DNA. And every single time the breath wraps around, life force energy wraps around the DNA, it will unlock, activate, or help you deeply center yourself in the presence of your ancestors, the ones, the healed, whole, and holy line, that timeline of your ancestors. And so they are always here for you. So not excluding anyone. We are just dealing and working with them at the higher levels of who they are. So let's get into the reversal. So let me just take a minute here. So let's take a look into the reversal of this card. I love this deck, but there's an intricacy here. And so I love to, although I have my own information, but I also love to go in and read some of the information because it is quite thorough in its information. So, okay, and another thing I wanted to mention is that the representation of the solar disk that is shining upon, or that is like haloed around her head, is your direct connection to source, that you are always connected to source. And so even you taking that moment to just relax, to stop and invite that breath will help you gain the clarity that you need in order to move forward in the way that you need to move forward to meet. I feel like there's a part of you that has been yearning for a sense of magic in your life. And just taking that moment again to connect with the breath, to trust in the flow of life, and also to be present. And what I mean by being present is looking around you in the right here and the right now to see exactly, or to feel, I think this is more of a feeling energy, to feel the magic that is you. Even all of the magic that has literally, and I was explaining this to my daughter a few weeks ago, is literally all of the things that have brought you to this very moment. All of the people, despite of the hardship that they may have gone through, you literally were still manifested into this plane of existence. That in itself is magic. So it's always remembering to tap into that energy when you are starting to feel a lack of magic. Just remembering that piece alone will help reframe your perspective. And also, when you reframe your perspective, it's a much easier for you to get the downloads. Because what's happening is when you are in a mindset that is dimming you, it literally robs you of your ability to connect to your magic. So it's so important for you to take the time out to do that. So there's that. And that card, the title is the Council. And I want you to remember that you are in direct connection with Council all the time. And you also are in direct connection with your spirit team and your ancestors all the time. You just need to stop, pause, and to remember that connection. You are also in direct connection. Oh, and you are also a counselor, a counsel for those around you. And as you continue to move through your life, remembering to never be scared to share your strength and to share your light with others, because naturally they will find counsel in the things that you speak, because you have so much wisdom to share. But I think it being reversed is showing that you don't remember that at times. You doubt that at times. So it's not that the gifts aren't there, it's the doubt that you see, the doubt that you have within your own ability, the doubt that you have within your own magic. And so you're being asked to reframe that, not just mentally, but in essence, how you feel about yourself. Okay, so the medicine. It says, you are never alone. Turn to the counsel to find guidance you seek, and listen to the voice that arises spontaneously. Turn a deaf ear to the nagging voice from your ego that tells you that you are not up for the task before you. Create a spiritual feast for this counsel and invite them to your altar every time you meditate and pray. So if it feels good for you, it feels natural to you, then you might want to create an altar that you can use in order to connect through meditation, prayer, or maybe if, let's say, you need to meditate and pray spontaneously and you're not home, you can maybe keep a safe keep item, a crystal, something of sentiment value that's really small that can go in your purse or your wallet. And then whenever you pray or you are going into meditation, you can hold it in your hands or place your hands on it, and it can bring you there faster. So activating it at the altar so that you can carry it with you when you are ready to connect, pray, meditate with your team, with your guides, with your with the other versions of you in different timelines. That's also very important, because I also feel like as I'm looking at these cards, I'm seeing a bunch of different versions, aspects of you here. Not all of them, but just different aspects that are actually calling for your attention at this time. The next card that you have is magic. And so it went from the number 11 and it hopped right into the number 33. So 11 is a divine number, and then 33 is also a master number. So 11 to 33. So you skipped over 22 and went right into 33. When I think of the number 33, I think of not just healing. It's not the healing in itself. It's more of the journey of discovery that happens when you are on your path in healing, because we are constantly, even when things don't look as if it is manifesting as healing, you are healing. So as I'm looking in this card, in this particular card, you see this being who is illuminated, glowing aura. There's an orb near her. There is also this, I don't know, it just reminds me of like, I know it's not the DNA, but when I look at this card, I feel like I see DNA here. And then I see her brain is actually, it looks like what's that lion's mane mushroom? It's really weird, but it's really beautiful. Her brain is like kind of, it's showing you her brain in her head, but with it just looks so beautiful. It's like magical how it appears. And then there's this portal that is open above her crown. And then again, there's the disc. There's that disc we talked about again. So this disc is shining behind her head. And I'm trying to look through the cards. Not all the cards have the disc illuminated behind the head. So the first two cards immediately have a disc behind the people depicted on the card's head, which is signifying to me automatically that you are truly tapped in. You are connected. You have developed the skill to literally connect with forces beyond this realm, this physical realm. It's giving Mary Magdalene, Mary of Nazareth type of like vibe, okay? And okay, yes, and it's, some people will be like, oh, well, how dare you? That's blasphemy for, for, what's the word I'm trying to say here? For you to compare a human being to these women. These women are exalted women. Well, you know what? We all have aspects of us that are like these women. And so sometimes I feel like humans in a way like to dummy ourselves down as if we are not divine, but we are divine. But we don't always have to stand in our divinity. It is okay to explore the other parts of your humanity, which are all divine as well. But we have this idea of divinity being like some person floating in the ethers that could do no wrong. But that is not part of the human, it's not part of our journey as a human. We're supposed to be in our fullness, and being in our fullness means that we do things that may not be the floaty version of us floating in the ethers, and that's okay. All right, because that's what makes us who we are. And humans are a special breed of divine beings. And I feel like a lot of the times the reason why we act the way we do is because we have forgotten. We are the fallen angels, okay? We have forgotten. So again, the first card is you have your wings. And then the second card is there's no wings on this individual, but there is an energy of her being tapped in, and there's this curiosity in her eyes. She's looking and gazing forward, but that gaze forward is almost as if she's gazing inward, because whatever it is that she's looking at, she can see herself in those things. And it's remembering, and it's also like she can see in the mundane, maybe the simple things, the magic that lives there. And that's what makes her magical, is because she sees the magic. Well, that's what radiates her magical essence, is because she sees the magic in all things. Okay. And so that number 33, again, it brings me back to, if we bring it down, condense it down to one digit, it's like the energy of, it is the energy of healing. But it's not the end journey of healing, but it is the path to transitions in the transformation. That is the 6. It is the process. Okay, it reminds me of Virgo energy, the process of reforming, purifying, but in essence, still allowing your humanity to exist, but in a way that is never forgetting, or always remembering, rather, not never forgetting, but always remembering to come back to remembering the magic in all things. Okay. And as I'm sitting here, I'm sitting right at my in my living room, and I'm peering out of the windows, and I'm looking at the sky, and every single time I look in the sky, I see a plane flying, and I'm just like, man, that's like so freaking cool that literally this metal object that weighs tons is flying through the sky. Like, that's magical to me, you know? I know there's a science behind it, but literally that is magic, that someone envisioned that one time and literally brought the vision, they channeled it in, okay? And then made it a reality. That is magic. That is magic in itself. Okay? So, number 33. Let us read the invitation. So the invitation here is saying, when magic appears, you are invited to see the world through the eyes of wonder and awe, taking on the innocence of a child who knows that all things are possible. Infinite potentials exist in the great mind, and you are being invited to call it in, and recognizing the dance of synchronicities, events, signs, symbols, and omens given to you through the oracle of the ordinary world. This is a sign that Spirit is reminding you that you co-create your world in sacred partnership. Your part is to dream, to intend, and then to watch for the signs that show you your next action to take. Right now, it appears that you are on the right track to make your dreams come true. Great Spirit is listening and acting on your behalf. Pay attention. Magic gives birth to miracles, okay? Just like I was saying, like, as I'm looking into the sky and I'm seeing the airplanes. Do you understand how crazy people might have thought this person was who thought of a plane? A metal object in the sky flying? Man, you must be nuts. But they believed in themselves. They believed that is possible, and they manifested it, and they brought it into earth. And you are in your creation process. But you have to remember, you are able, you are capable. And remember, the reason of your being able and being capable is because the magic, the essence is within you. Okay? And so the next piece here talks about the hummingbird. And so the hummingbird, so there's been times where literally I've been sitting on my porch. As I'm looking on my porch, I'm peering, and a hummingbird literally will come flying on my porch. I'm like, what? I don't know. I find hummingbirds to be so magical. And so The fact that hummingbirds literally, how fast their wings flap, and they're just like sitting there collecting sweet nectar from these flowers. Okay, so it makes me think that a lot of you have, some of you, this is not for everybody, but some of you have been working with flower essence, maybe teas, tinctures that have the essence of flowers in it, or the energy of flowers. I myself have been working with roses. As a matter of fact, I named my business the Rose Aura. I have the Rose Aura Oracle. Hello. And then the Rose Aura Bodywork, because I'm a massage therapist. So this is the energy that I feel like some of us have been working with, is the energy of flowers. Okay. And so the hummingbird goes and collects the nectar from the flowers, which then fuels the hummingbird to be able to like flap its wing. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the hummingbird's heart beats like, I can't even remember the specificals about it, but I'm gonna look it up just because they're really fascinating. Hold on one second. They are really some amazing. So they are some of the world's smallest birds, okay? And they are the only birds that can fly backwards and hover in place, okay? Other birds cannot do that. Let's see. So they have good color vision. And so some of y'all are clairvoyant. Okay. Let's see. They have very, very fast metabolisms. And then I'm also thinking that if you are not somebody who already has a fast metabolism, some of you guys are working on how to speed up your metabolism. Because some of y'all have been tired, feeling lackluster, lack of energy. Something's coming in for you guys. So they have a relatively large heart compared to their body, and it beats over 1,000 times per minute. That's insane. If you think about it, the heart beats over 1,000 times per minute. They literally have like a internal sound therapy machine in their little bodies. How beautiful is that? Oh my gosh. That's dope. Okay. So, in the Caribbean and in Mexico, they believe that hummingbirds are a symbol of love, okay, which is why I believe they have such large hearts, because they have the capacity to tap into the heart resonance. So I know some of you, so here's what, with the first card, being connected to ancestor, second card having DNA, what I interpreted, it's not, but I interpreted when I looked at it, the word DNA came up in my head. It's making me think that, you have to understand how loved you are. Your ancestors love you. You are highly favored by your ancestors. Like, period. I don't even know how else to say this. Like, they ride for you. They love you. They ride for you. They want the best for you. They are willing to go to bat for you. Like, period. Period. I don't even know how else I could explain this to you. Okay? They love you. And hummingbirds don't take no shit, y'all. They might be small, but they are super territorial. They take no shit. They take no shit. And as I'm looking at this card, of the hummingbird, and I look to the next card, it is a picture of this warrior energy, okay? And it's a warrior who's like literally draped in warrior, like, like in most of our indigenous cultures, how they would like paint their face, braid their hair a couple different ways, and put their feathers in their head, and they was ready to go. This is it. This is reminding you that you are made out of warrior energy. You are super connected to warrior energy. But then also, when I look at this picture, and when I mean warrior, I don't mean like you're in the battlefield fighting and killing people. No. What I mean by warrior is that the modality in which your ancestors worked with, it's readily available for you so that you can go on the battlefield of whatever it is that you are meant to go. You are meant to go towards, and nothing's going to stop you. Nothing's going to stop you. Nothing has stopped you before. Therefore, it's not going to happen now. Nothing has stopped you before. It's not going to happen now. There is a jaguar in this photo. You are stealth. You have the qualities of someone who can navigate, okay, this goal, this mission with precision. Because when I think of cats, they're like precise, especially the big-bodied cats. Those, they don't mess around. They are nothing to be messed with. So this is the energy in which I'm tapping into in regards to this card. Okay, so here we go from 11 to 22. We're going to break them down to single digits. So it goes from the 11, which is a 2, to 20, or sorry, not 22, 33, which is a 6. So it goes from 2 to 6. And then the next card is 26. I can't make this shit up, y'all. From 2 to 6 to 26. From 11 to 33 to 26. Okay? 11 being the 2. The 33 being the 6. The 26 being the 2 and the 6. That's in the 11 and the 33. Okay? Like, I can't make this shit up. And then from there, we go into 45. So it went from 2 to 6 to 8 to 9. All right, the card with the warrior is the 45. Okay, so you are literally not, and I'm looking at this card, there are multiple planetary bodies here. You are tapped into, because when I think of the planetary bodies, I think of how they align with like our chakras, our energy centers. And so you're tapping into all the different parts of your energy centers. Okay. So you went from being in the connecting to higher realms. And then now you're bringing this information down through love. Because the hummingbird represents love. And that's the card that is dead set in the middle of all the other cards, okay? It is at the center. So you're the center of your work, the center of your mission, the center of your purpose is through love. You should never forget that piece. You are love. Your work is vested, seated, planted in love. Because that is who you are. Period. So moving that those energies from the center, that's so crazy. So okay, there's something else that I'm seeing here. But I might connect that a little bit later. So you're going from love into channeling all of your planetary alignments through your energy centers. Everything is literally filtering through the essence of love. Filtering through the essence of love to help you execute your mission. To help you execute your mission. Let's go into the hummingbird for just a second, as I'm just taking a moment here to really breathe in to what I'm feeling with this card, the seer. Because again, now this seer, this warrior, has his eyes closed, which is telling me, like, I don't move from what I'm seeing here in the planet. This is not how I'm moving. I'm moving with faith. With faith, because I believe in myself. I believe in the power of love. And that love is filtered through me. So it is a process of trust that is also not up for debate. That's not the word I'm looking for here. That is being examined in this time. How deeply can you trust the divine moving through you? When the divine knows it made you out of love and it made you for this specific warrior. This specific purpose as its warrior. So that's what I was trying to say, because I knew it was like, your war is a different kind of war. It's not about anyone winning or losing, but it's about you moving in your purpose, because that purpose is going to bring about something. And it's you connecting to your ability, your trust in your ability to navigate. I have a necklace on my neck right now, which is the little thing that I use to meditate. It is literally a picture of a woman, and she is blindfolded. She has something over her eyes. And the energy of this is move by faith. Not by sight. Move by faith, not by sight. Okay? And again, let's go back to the hummingbird. So here, the invitation is, the buzzing you feel is the sound of your hummingbird wings, preparing you to say yes to a new adventure. This is not a time to linger on what has gone wrong, but to trust in the rightness of the moment and take bold action. Trust that success is assured, even if you must face tests and challenges to reach your destination. Know that all will be well, because all is in the small, because the all is in the small, which brings us back to the magic, the mundane, the small little things, connecting to these little pieces. The Virgo energy 6, when I was talking about the 6 in the Virgo, that the little things that Virgo's all about processes. The processes create transitions create transformation. I literally did a workshop on this a couple months ago. And so the seer, also having a skull on a stick that he's holding, his eyes are closed, he's divining something. He's connecting with the other side. There's the eagle on the top left corner of the card, indicating through his ability to see the bigger picture, but being able to navigate through the small details. That is someone who is operating from a wholeness. So in regards to your ability to be precise and having the skill set to process transitions, so getting yourself from one point to another, this is a skill set that you have, that you do, and you have, and you do it with ease. Here's what though: at this time, energetically, that skill set would be more tied to Virgo energy. Virgo is in the South Node, whereas Pisces right now collectively is in the North Node. So where we are being asked to surrender, and what we're surrendering is not our ability to be precise, but our ability to trust where we are being led. You can still use your skill set as the skill set that you have mastered in the Virgo energy. However, that alone in itself will not take you where you need to go. Right now, you're being asked to trust in where you are being led. And then when you are led where you're supposed to go, then that's when you will use that skill set. So it's not using it every inch of the way. You have to know where to surrender, where to let go, so that you can move forward with less resistance and more ease, because you don't want to be using all that, you don't want to be using that energy constantly, because then you'll tire yourself out. Okay, so and also you might miss the bigger picture, because Pisces energy is all about the bigger picture, and Virgo is the devil in the details, if you get what I'm saying. I see the big picture, and so I see the big picture, so that I drop down into earth and I'm completing the smaller steps in order to get me there. And so let's go into the seer and what the invitation is there. So the seer talks about trusting your intuition and to follow it as it leads you forward. So although you may feel lost, when it appears that's your hunch is taking you, or that your hunch is taking you in circles or even through a maze. But the hidden realms don't follow the rules of two-dimensional map. And it makes me think of how we move through life in spirals. It's not truly linear. Trust your gut. Allow your perceptions of your circumstance to widen and to include nuances and subtle cues that you normally miss if you take it at face value. So the seer has gifted you with his magic. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Your vision is clear. This is the third card we've gotten talking about you're exactly where you're supposed to be. The first card of the council came to affirm that. The second card of magic came to affirm that. And then now this card, the seer, came to affirm that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Your vision is clear. So the part of you that's confused, that might be connected to fear. So it's not so much that you can't see where you're going at this point. You see the bigger picture. There is something connected with fear here, and that's maybe something you need to examine. Okay, so the number 9 is associated in numerology with completion. It is closing out of a cycle. So in our collective, we are collectively in a universal year number 9. So this is the perfect time to literally close out the last 9 years and to prepare for a new beginning. So that number 9 coming in at this time in this reading is perfection, because it is letting you know that part of the journey moving forward is you wrapping out the old cycles of how you were doing things. And I'm getting here that a lot of us are perfectionists, and that tendency to be to think that you have to wait for a perfect time, you have to be perfect, the work has to show up perfectly, you have to be there's like needs to be precision and whatever, manifested in order for you to do the thing that you need to do. And no, that's an old cycle you need to break out of, because again, connecting back to the previous card of you being the magic and you seeing the magic in all things. So let that be your guiding force, and let it be filtered through the heart space, because anything filtered through the heart space is going to come out as it should. And yes, there will be flaws in it, and that's okay. The point of the exercise isn't for perfection. It is actually for you to learn to trust yourself again, to trust the flow of life, to trust that you will be led exactly where you need to be, to trust, to allow yourself to be guided through the lens of faith, confidence in your ability to navigate life. Confidence, with faith, my friends. Because the last card we have in reverse, and it is literally a woman standing on the head of a moon, one foot planted on the moon, the other foot lifted, arms open wide, heart open, ready to receive, take flight, winged woman with the sun behind her, standing on top of the moon with the sun behind her, literally surrendering to her ability, her wings, her flight. But it's in reverse. So when I think of this card being the last card in the reading, is letting me know that there is still hesitation here. So how do we bring this energy of hesitation towards your quest? Into a full embodied, yes, I got this. Reverse. Here's the medicine. So it says, Spirit has been trying to contact you, but received no answer. You are too busy with life, and there's too much noise inside your head. Do not miss the call again. Make room for quiet time this evening and allow yourself to become bored for a little while, and you will be able to hear the important messages trying to get through. In the vision quest, you face your fears, you embrace your mortality, and you meet face to face with spirit. When we feel stagnant, a vision quest brings our lives into perspective. We realize our flaws, our potential, and the opportunities that life is offering us. We remain on a vision quest until we find the key to open new doors and write a new chapter in our lives. So you are at the precipice of a new beginning. Spirit is trying to contact you, but you won't sit your ass down. And I'm talking to myself too. So don't even trip. It's time to sit down. Get quiet. It's time to sit down and get quiet. So that you can move forward with less fear. But you've overcame so many times in so many lives. You're not new to this. You are true to this. Although the feeling of fear is real, is visceral, you can feel it in your body. I understand that. But Spirit is telling me to let you know that there's nothing to fear. Surrender to the tides of change. You have nothing to fear. Surrender to the tides of change. Everything is happening for you so that it can happen through you. Understand? Everything's happening for you so that it can happen through you. I'm going to pull out another card. This is from the Visions of Soul. We're going to end with a meditation and portal card. Since it's time for you to go sit your behind down somewhere, act like you know, because your spirit guides are talking and they say you need to cut it. You need to go sit somewhere. And the card that pops out, earth grounding. 2 came out actually. Earth grounding. And perpetual motion. Let's go through earth grounding first. Well, clearly, you need to be outside in nature. We're just going to say that. Some of y'all need to connect a little bit more. It's time to level up how you connect with crystals. You're being called to connect with some of you, not everybody. Some of you are being called to connect with crystals on a deeper level, a new way of connecting with crystals. I don't know. I'm hearing go plant some crystals in some sacred spaces outside in nature. And then let that place be a sacred space you go to from time to time and just sit on top of where the crystal has been planted every time you go there to meditate. Just be slick about it. It don't got to be a spectacle. Just literally dig a little 6-inch hole and drop a crystal in there. Or 2 or 3. I don't care. It's your process. Make it yours. Just saying. Okay? And it's number 16. So it goes from, the last card was reversed in 6. So now we're going back to 6. We're going 16, which is 7. So we're taking steps forward through meditation. Okay? So here's where we're at. Mother Gaia herself speaks through this card, opening up a channel of supportive healing energy from within her core, her heart. Again, the heart energy is coming up again. The flow of her heartbeat is channeled through the crystalline structures of the mineral kingdom, awakening your love of earth, your sense of belonging, of being a part of the web that expresses itself through wondrous and miraculous ways on this planet. She holds within her essence the key of life, the seed of life, and the wisdom of all that is required of you to take consciously, that is required of you to consciously partake in the sustainable co-creation of life in this world. Only through rooted connection to her can your branches reach the sky. Can your seeds form and bring new life? Only through honoring of all life is your place in this world secure. Only through honoring of all life is your place in this world secure. Okay? That's the first portal. that you're being called to enter through is connecting with earth energy. And in the beginning of this of this reading, we talked about that magic essence, seeing magic in all things. Remember I said that, okay? Now you're being called to take grounded, practical steps to do that by literally connecting with the earth. Whatever that looks like for you. I'm about to take my behind to a park and go meditate. Literally sit in the grass and let myself feel myself being grounded on the earth. That's enough. And breathing. That's enough for me. Do it how you do it. You are creative. I'm not speaking to like a newbie or a beginner. I know that the collective that I'm meant to speak for, we not new to this. We true to this. This I know. So you know how to do it. You just got to do it. Okay. Next piece. The portal of perpetual motion. So we go from the 16 to the 38. Okay. Transmutation, change, alchemy, perpetual motion, movement, cosmic flow. Okay. So use this portal for movement, growth, and change when you are stuck and need to be shown a different perspective. And that's what the last card was talking about. Okay. It is a portal to parallel universes. It says you are growing, changing, and evolving every second. You are the catalyst for this change. You can choose to stagnate, go with the flow, or flow with the universe in these changing times. It's your choice. When you are not flowing with the universe, you will know it. Life will be a constant drag, an endless fight. Don't mistake challenges for not being in the flow with the universe. At times, you are given challenges to push you to dig deeper, to expand yourself more. Use this card as a tool to guide you in moving your life in the directions where constant flow and change can occur harmoniously and with synchronicity. So when you flow, or when your life is flowing in alignment with your soul purpose, you can be uplifted and supported energetically. Recognize the phases of the movement and flow in your life and learn to harness these for spiritual growth. Learn to harness these for spiritual growth. Well, thank you for tuning in to this reading. And it's always a pleasure and an honor. And again, you are exactly where you need to be. Trust yourself. Trust in your process. You got this. You got this shit. All right? So much love to you guys. Bye.